Hey, what is up, you guys, and welcome to this episode of Eddie's Customs and Restorations. What we got back here today is a 75 Bronco, and the mounts for the spring on this guy, which are right down there, that's going to get replaced with these mounts right here. They're from James Duff, and I believe they're called Duff Stuff, or I don't know if it's James Duff only. But anyhow, they're going to get replaced with that. And well, as a YouTuber, I like making videos that I don't see much about, and I didn't see one on how to replace a spring on a 75 Bronco or 70s Bronco, because it will be the same for a lot of the Broncos. So first things first, jack up the frame of the truck, and you're going to jack that up just enough to where you're getting real close to taking the tire off the ground. You don't want to take it off the ground, so you want it to still be firmly on the ground. So I guess like three or four pumps away from lifting it off the ground. So once you get it to that point, you're going to then hold that height of the frame with jack stands. So these are, I believe, 6-ton jack stands or something like that. Those jack stands are holding it up right here. Obviously that one's not touching, but I put this one in after the fact just in case this one gives out. I don't want to die, you know. So anyhow, once you get that sorted out, now you're going to want to take your wheel off. So you get your jack, and you're going to lift the differential from this side, okay, just like I have it, because we're going to tackle this side first, right? So you're going to put the jack right there, and you're going to lift the tire off the ground now. So what you're doing here, you're no longer going to lift the whole truck, because the suspension is extended, since you did lift up the Bronco up to the point to where it was almost going to lift off the ground. So this spring is decompressed, you know, it's opened up, and so is your shock. So it's got some compressing to do up the top, you know, without you throwing off what you've just done over here. So jack it up a little bit. Once you get the tire off the ground, you're going to take your lug nuts off, and those are 19 millimeter, I believe. Well, at least for this one it was. And once you get that done, take the tire off, and you'll be kind of at the position where I'm at right now. Okay, so then you're going to have two bolts right down there. Those are 5/8 in size and socket size, 5/8, and you're going to take those off, and then you're going to have this one right here, and that's a 9/16. You want to get this one loose, because of course you might end up lifting it up further to where you could damage the shock if you're trying to fully extend it, you know. So that's another one. All right, and then you're gonna have another bolt, which is this one right here, and that one was actually right up there in that little hole right there, and this was 9/16. So that bolt that went up there where I just said threads to the bottom of this bracket, which is right there, which is this bracket right here. So you got two bolts that are securing this bracket, okay, and that's the one that I just mentioned, which is this one in my hand, and you got this one, the one that I'm holding with the vice grip. Well, I'm actually holding the nut with the vice grip. Reason for that is because this was seized in rust, and I ended up stripping the nut, so had to use a vice grip on the nut and then loosen it from the backside. The size of this bolt and nut are 1/2 inch, and once you take that loose, your spring is now free. So all you got to do now is slowly release the tension on your jack, and your spring will then, you know, be free to go. It's not going to fly out so long as you have, you know, control of your jack there, and just slowly bring it down, and you're slowly decompressing it as you drop down. that's it. That's how it comes out. Just one thing to note before installing the complete spring and everything onto this piece, make sure that you do a dry fit right here, and make sure that you're gonna have enough room, you know, that you're gonna be able to thread in your bolts. Okay, because I had to actually I had to extend this hole, and you can see here where, you know, I was running the little Dremel tool to extend the hole, because I was not able to put in the bolt. I could put one in, but I couldn't put the other one in. So, you know, make sure you do that first before installing it. Here I got this other one. I have it installed, and the way to get it in here, you just kind of pry up, kind of stick like a screwdriver, and pry between the two, you know, pry between the coil spring right here, so you can slide this guy in, because it's a pretty tight fit, as you can see there. But yeah, you're just gonna line those two holes up, and, you know, just to make sure that it's all gonna work out. Then put it on your spring, and then grab the whole spring and put it on, and of course do the whole process that we just did, and the reverse, and that's it. You'll be done with your spring mount replacement. If you're having trouble putting this guy on because you can't get the bolt to line up, get you a screwdriver, line that up, and then pull it up, get yourself some vice grips. So hopefully this helped you out. If it did, please help me out by subscribing and sharing if you know anybody else that also has to do their replacement.